Yeah, sorry, I can.
Then they opened up the round formation and they let people out.
Yeah, no, before that. So what they would do is they would practice in the evening, that every evening they'd make that formation, the lager that we saw outside. They'd practice that in the evening. So it wasn't like they were planning this on the day. When the evening came, they got into their formation. The Zulus were quite superstitious. So on that night, there was a lot of mist. And they would also put lanterns. So the Zulus didn't want to attack in the night, which probably wouldn't have been good for these souls over here. So there was a mist, and then they put these lanterns, and the Zulus being superstitious, they didn't want to attack them in the night. So that was one of the reasons. They also put themselves strategically in a very good place. They had the Nkome River, and then they had the Hippa Valley. So they forced the Zulus to attack them where they wanted to shoot them. So that was very, very strategically well done. On the day, one of the commandos said to Andries Vink, now come, let's go and attack them. I don't think that would have been such a good idea. No. But he was a very patient man. He wanted to fight them on his terms. Okay.
I think that's what saved them.
They put 2 cannons on the corners. Griki was one of them that I showed you over there. And they had buckshot. So they would fire all of them. And the Zulus also didn't storm them. So if they stormed them, it might have been a bit more difficult. So it gave them time to reload all their guns. Because in those days they had to reload all their weapons. So because they didn't storm them, they could shoot all of them, and then the next bunch would come and then they could shoot them. I also spoke to the guard over there. He said that the Zulus became a little bit aware of what was going on, so they all crouched down. So they were going to wait for them to fire all their rounds out, and then they would have no ammo. So Andries Pretorius was very clever. He knew what was going on. He started those cannons with 6-pound buckshot, putting them into panic because buckshot,
sprays
out like that, causing them to run around, and then they shot them. So he was very, very clever general actually. And then what he would also do is he would open up the kraal, and then he would send out at the right time, he would send out the horses. And this would make them scatter as well. And then they were also on the run. And some of them died at the Battle of Blood. It's called Battle of Blood River. So they died in the river there. All the blood was flowing. Very strategic man. Knew what he was doing. And he had a very good victory that day. 3,000 Zulus died that day. And I don't think they were going to send more. Unless they had more ammo, then they could have shot all of them. So they decided that was enough, we're going to stop them. So they had them on the retreat with those horses. They were also armed. And then they would come back in, and then they would be in that lager formation. Okay, let's go to this one here. Okay, everyone knows that Dingaan was a half-brother of Shaka. Everyone knows that. Okay. When this happened, Dingaan lost a lot of his followers because they were defeated. So a lot of them started leaving. They didn't want to support him anymore. They had a huge defeat there. This man over here is Mpande. Okay, initially he was a very passive man. He wasn't aggressive. So Dingaan didn't have any fear for him. He wasn't worried about him. He just let him carry on his way. When all the deserters left Dingaan, they joined Mpande, and then Andries Pretorius made another good coalition here. And they were able to root Dingaan. So this was Mpande, yeah?
So Dingaan was the baddie?
Yeah, Dingaan was a very bad apple. And of course all his soldiers had to follow him. But he wasn't a good man. He tricked a lot of people. He murdered a lot of people as well. Incidentally, where he killed Piet Retief, Kwamatiwane was the name of one of the people that he executed on that hill. So he killed a lot of people. If you gave him a bad look or you looked at his maidens with a bad eye, he would just take you on that hill and he would just get you killed. Very ruthless man. Okay, so that was in 1840, that was with Andries Vink. They made a coalition and they destroyed Dingaan. Now Dingaan was on the run now. And he ran to Swaziland, and you're just going to go around the corner over here. So this is Dingaan over here. He was on the run now. He took all his wives and he ran to Swaziland. But not a good move because he didn't have good friends in Swaziland. So they got rid of him without hesitation. They murdered him. They did away with him.
They murdered him.
They murdered him. Well, there was no one to defend him anyway. So this was in Swaziland in the Bombo Mountains, in the Klatikulu forest. If you look at their dress over there, you'll see that there's strips over there. You see the strips?
Mm.
And then the Swazi had single loin cloth over there. So that's how you can see the difference.
I didn't know
So
that.
all these, the ones over there were the single.
So they were the Zulus.
The Zulus had the strips there, you see that.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
And then they just had a single skin over there.
Sure.
Those were the Swazi, and that was in the Limbombo Mountains. So that was the end of Dingaan. And that was also in 1840.
Yeah.
So it was about 2 years after the massacre.
1938.
Yeah.
Sure. Wow.
Okay, everyone, it's the end. I've gone a little bit over time, about 10 minutes.
Well, I've learned quite a lot, eh?
You've
Yeah.
done extremely well enough sitting here to help yourself.
Thank you, William. I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're very knowledgeable. You must have done a lot of
Yeah, I did.
history reading.
I did a lot of research. Thank you, William.
Hard work.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Hey?
Oh, I didn't know any of this in my mom's Afrikaans.
Yeah. I mean, I could carry on here, but I feel it's a good place to finish off on.
Wow.
So
Thank you,
we've
Andries.
come to the end of Dingaan, and then we've seen a lot of the battles in between. It's a very impressive building. If you just look up,
It's
you see
beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Beautiful.
windows over there.
I love them.
It's always good to look up. Yeah, no, it always gives you a whole nice perspective. Yeah. Finish the camera. Stop them. Okay, so thank you everyone for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed the trip today. I think it was a nice day. I enjoyed it.
I liked it very
I
much.
had the honor and privilege of having recording.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. It was lovely.
To help me with my notes as well.
Yeah.
You always learn something more.
Yes,
Little,
every tiny
little
thing
bits.
is-
You always learn something more.
Yeah.
Did you finish sharing?
This
No, I
was well
didn't.
researched.
Did you push stop, eh?
Very